Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith. Well, Adobe did it. They killed the legacy title, you bastard. You only makes sense if you're a South Park fan. Okay, the legacy titler is gone in version 23 and up. They just finally removed it. But Adobe has been warning users for, almost a year, maybe longer. Every single time you created a legacy title, opened a project with a title, they warned you, we're gonna get rid of this, so migrate. To make it easier, Adobe has converted almost everything from the legacy titles to the new essential graphics, the Mogurts, the thing that if you haven't used the legacy titler, then you've been using the new essential graphics panel and all of its goodness, which is way better than the legacy titler. But here's the thing. You still get a chance to open up projects, create them. You can still work in the older version. So if you accidentally have to convert something before you go to the new one, you can do that. One important thing that I found out that shocked me was, in anticipation of this tutorial, I took every single old ugly template that they give you in the legacy titler, and I brought them into a Premiere Pro document. You know, I don't know, there's like 50, 60 of them. And I put them in the project panel, but I didn't put them in a timeline. So when I opened in version 23, there was no conversion. Every title just looked like a black screen. The conversion only happens if the title, legacy title, is in a timeline. You can open up the old version, put it in a timeline and do that. But I was shocked because I've seen there's only one reference to the word track, but there's no real red flag that Adobe waves and says it better be in a sequence to convert. So I want to show you first how you can install a version that's still compatible with that. So if you open up the Creative Cloud desktop application, go to All Apps, and go down to the current version, Premiere Pro, a little three-dot menu, and choose Other Versions. So here you can choose something like 22.6.2, which is what I have. So you can have multiple versions of Premiere Pro running without a problem. In fact, on this laptop, I've got 22, 23, and the beta of 23.1, and there's no problems. The only thing you have to get used to is not double clicking on a project file anymore. You have to go to the file menu and choose open and find a project because the wrong one loads all the time. And that's just typical. The operating system doesn't know all the time, doesn't get it right of which version of Premiere Pro do you want to open with this project. So you can open that up. So let me open up the legacy title. So this is 22, and I'll open this up. And you get this warning. The next major release will no longer support it, so you can upgrade them. Please note, not all attributes are upgraded. Do you want to upgrade now? So clicking yes will convert the titles in the sequence only, but it will do that. I'm going to put a link in the description to a very detailed document that Adobe has. It's a multi-page PDF that tells you every single thing that is and isn't converted. The good thing is, most everything is converted. Just the really old, ugly stuff isn't converted. So I'm going to choose no. Now I built these titles just for this tutorial because I'll convert these in 23. So here's a news graphics title. I'll open this up and it opens in the old, ugly legacy titler. Same thing here. I've got 3 different versions of the same kind of thing where the lower third, this is just using rectangles. This one is using a Bezier. So I actually dragged that point out to there to see if that would convert. And this one I know won't convert. It uses distort. So if you, see, such a horrible interface to work with. But this is using distort. Yeah, there it is. Right there, that, to change the angle on that. Okay, so I've got those 3 lower thirds. I've got the big breaking news graphic, which includes an image in the background, which will not convert. And then over here, a simple one, just with a few graphics. And then the last one I made with just a background and a transparent PNG file in the middle. So to see if this stuff is going to convert. So it's on the timeline. Let's launch the next version and open this up. All right, I'll click Open Project. And there it is. I'll click Open. It wants me to save this as a new version because I'm going to call this 23 because the new version is a new project format. So it has to save this in a new format and you can't open this back in a previous version. So I'll click OK. And it's telling me the legacy titler is no longer supported. Premiere Pro will convert each one of these into a source graphic. So you'll notice the big difference. 22 said yes or no. 23 says, okay, it's going to convert them regardless. And it's calling these a source graphic. That's really important. And I think Adobe did this because a regular title that you create with the essential graphics is not duplicated. It's not the same thing every single time it appears on the title unless you upgrade to a source graphic. When you upgrade to a source graphic, it shows up in the project panel and everywhere that shows up in the timeline. When you change one, it changes all of them. That's what the legacy titles were like. The new Mogurts aren't like that. So Adobe chose to make it more like the legacy one. Click OK. And there we go. So like I said, the image didn't show up in the background, but everything is in this one graphic. So if I go to Essential Graphics, you can see all of the components are here, all the graphics. The leading is not the same. You can see there the word news is not correct. So if we go down to our leading, I would have to adjust that down a little bit to make that look a little bit better. So that looks all well and good. The only thing I need to do is add the graphic. I wish the graphic would have showed up in here. I mean, if I can convert the graphic, how come Adobe couldn't convert the graphic? Anyway, I'll go over here to New Layer, from File. We'll go back to that folder. And there's the new background. Click OK. It shows up on top. Drag that to the bottom. Guess what? It's done. Okay, so two changes, changing the leading and dropping in the graphic. But the biggest benefit is, well, there's two big benefits. First of all, you can animate this. You couldn't animate the other titles. You could animate it on the timeline, but that doesn't animate the title itself. Essential graphics are self-contained with animation, so I could have all these breaking news things swinging out. So I'll select this here just to show you what it's like. So news, position keyframe, go to the beginning and take news. And what I can do, actually this would be good. So let's take that shape there and we'll lock that shape. That's interesting that it doesn't keep the name. So you pin that to text. So now when you move news, hopefully, yes, it moves all of that out. And let's go to breaking that shape there and pin it to that text. And now move breaking and it goes with it. There we go. So now we've got an animation breaking news where both shapes come in. So that's useful. It's all self-contained. No one's going to get the animation incorrect. Somebody has created this, so every editor that uses it, it's always the same graphics. Let's look at the other one to see. All right, that one looked pretty good. Maybe the text down here. Oh, you see that news again. That would require a little edit. Same thing there. And you'll notice the shape as a Bezier shape. That actually worked. So if I grab the pen tool, there it is. So that worked. The distort won't work. So if we go over here, we can see it's back to a rectangle. Okay, this very simple one that works. Let's go to the last one. If you remember, the last one was an image on a background, and there's no such thing as just a background button. You have to make a background, but the good thing is it's really easy. We'll grab the rectangle tool and we'll make sure that we have this selected, and we don't have to be perfect. We'll just drag that out, and I'll change the color to, I happen to write the color down. And you can change the size here, 1920 by 1080. And we can center that and center that. So it's centered based on the frame. We do the same as before. We add a graphic from the file. It's in here. There it is. We open that, drop it in, and there it is. We could position that, size that, center that, change the scale, position that wherever we want. So the other one that is really important is the text panel. And the text panel has a graphics panel, and look at this. Every single bit of text is here. You can search and replace. So I can search for wolf and replace all with replace all, boom, just like that. So leave the old legacy titler behind. You've had lots of time to convert things. Once you do, you're really not missing much from graphics, and Adobe is pouring a lot of technology into making the essential graphics even better all the time with new support, new features, and animation built in, search and replace. It's a better world.
And leave that legacy titler alone.
Cartman, anyway. Hey, if you're new to Video Revealed and you found this informative, take a moment and subscribe. If you want to support us some more, you can do that on VideoRevealed.com/shop, where you can grab some titles that I created, all of these essential graphics titles. You can donate once, monthly, thanks to all of our wonderful supporters. Till next time, I'm Colin Smith, and it's my job to do a bad Cartman imitation and to show you how you can move old technology to new and better technology.